Would you hire many people 33 years old, a little old for your industry?
Well, we'll hire people at any age as long as they're super energetic and they want to make personal computers easier to use. We end up hiring mostly people right out of college or business school.
And they don't need a lot of training. They are ready to be brilliant from the word go?
No, they need to be smart before they come in. And we give them a lot of training on the job. We put them right to work. But no, we don't expect that they know a lot about it. But I used to stay at work till 11 or 12 and then go home and read. I only let them schedule meetings on Saturday generally.
I know that you have an interest in reading biographies because you're fascinated by how people develop, and yet you guard your own privacy. Now, why is that?
I think it's a natural thing. Privacy is a valuable thing. I'm somebody who devoted my life to creating a software company and working on how can software empower people.
You understand the fascination that everybody has with you and your company and everything that you've done?
I understand people who like our products, but some of the rest of it I don't consider myself an expert on. We thought we'd just take a few minutes and show you an example of how these interactive systems create new opportunities.
Well, you know, we've been asking a lot of our viewers to be writing in with questions for you, and I have to say we've had an absolutely fantastic response. I'm just going to throw some of those at you.
Okay.
Some of them are really interesting. Naveen Karmakar, for example, says, do you see yourself as a successful human being? And if so, why?
I feel very lucky about where I was born, the parents I had, the education I had, and I'm trying to live up to the good luck that represents by giving back both my skills and my resources. But yes, I consider myself quite successful. I owe the system a contribution because of what it's done for me.
I'd actually be quite surprised if you did not consider
Yeah,
yourself successful. I would be
boy.
quite horrified.
Yeah, it'd be a pretty pessimistic view.
What do you have to take to be successful? You first, build Microsoft, become the richest man on earth, and then you do all the philanthropy. If you still don't consider yourself successful, your standards are really high. But somebody else asked this question, actually, Irshan, who said that, are you happy? And what makes you happiest?
Well, I'm very happy. I'm lucky that I get to work on exactly the things I want to. I get to work with brilliant people on interesting problems like malaria, tuberculosis, and I'm always learning. I'm always seeing the progress that we're making. That's why I love to come to India, because there always is so much progress. I've got a great family, kids who are growing up very well. I'm healthy. The tools I can use to be curious, the people I can meet, I can't imagine changing places with anyone.
There are pockets, and significant pockets, of the country where vaccines aren't happening because of those, the anti-vaxxers, or whatever you want to call them, who have made significant headway in trying to convince parents they shouldn't vaccinate children. I was just looking at new data today from Orange County, California, with more than a few schools showing between 40% and 60% children not vaccinated.
You could say we're a victim of success. In the countries where you have measles all the time, nobody gets confused about this.
Do you get mad about it?
I get more mad about the deaths we're not avoiding. I spend my time on the countries where you still have, in the case of measles, over 300,000 kids dying a year. In the case of diarrheal diseases, over 1 million a year. There's 6 million kids a year still dying. Why aren't we getting vaccines out in Africa for diarrhea, for respiratory disease? Why don't we yet have a vaccine for malaria? Those are the things that I push forward. I wouldn't say I get angry, but I'm really impatient that we're not moving as fast as I'd like.
What did your family think? Did they say there's something wrong with this young man? He wants to just do computers?
That was kind of considered a little strange.
Have you ever thought how your life could be better off if you had gotten your Harvard degree?
I'm a weird dropout because I take college courses all the time.
What about Steve Jobs in those days? What was your relationship with him?
We were both there at the very beginning.
You're the wealthiest man in the world for 20 years or more. Is that more of a burden than a pleasure to be the wealthiest man in the world?
Whoa.
I just got invited to give the commencement address at Harvard this year.
That's amazing.
I remember you did it 10 years ago when Priscilla graduated. I was there.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. 30 years later than I was supposed to, but I enjoyed it.
They know we didn't actually graduate, right?
Oh, that is the best part. They actually give you a degree.
You don't even have to go to class?
No, you just put that degree on your resume and it looks great.
Can you help me figure out what I'm going to say?
Yeah, we should work on it together. Let's go get some more snacks.
All right. So you get to wear the hat and everything?
Yeah, you bet. Of all the things that are out there, what could cause an excess in a single year of 10 million deaths? Now, clearly a big war could, and a pandemic, natural or created by bioterror. The natural pandemic, the last gigantic one, was 100 years ago. We are healthier today, but the speed of travel, and therefore the speed of global spread, that works against us. But in some ways, the bioterror thing scares me the most. All it takes is one small terrorism group. Those groups have used things like anthrax that are non-human to human transmissible, and as yet, thank goodness, they've never been able to build or get their hands on a nuclear weapon.
Are you nervous about your own life and
No.
what could happen?
This thing will get a lot of countries before it gets to the U.S., but even the U.S. has to think about its global health security. It's a government thing to decide, okay, this is a problem, how do you move resources around, how do you allocate the scarce supplies? When an epidemic hits, governments having been prepared in advance and going through simulations, that will help them make the decisions that are only in their hands. It's definitely a very sad milestone. Melinda's a great person, and that partnership that we had coming to an end is a source of great personal sadness. We are communicating and working at the foundation, and so that partnership we're going to try and continue.
The foundation said that there's going to be like a 2-year trial period to see that if you two can continue to work together. That's your hope, that you can.
Well, yeah, the Melinda has incredible strengths that she brings that help the foundation be better. We always enjoyed our work together. Two of us can go out and work with leaders and help build the organization. So, that would be definitely the best thing for the foundation.
There's a couple of things of reporting that have been out there I want to ask you about, and I think it's no one's business what happens in a person's marriage. The New York Times and Wall Street Journal both reported in recent months that...
said yourself, in the hopes of raising money.
I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. Not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. So there's nothing new on that.
It was reported that you continued to meet with him over several years, and that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, I've said I regretted having those dinners, and there's absolutely nothing new on that.
I'll do a quick rapid fire with you, Mr.
Okay.
Gates, because then we're out of time, and I've got a few questions from the audience. We've got a lot of questions, I know, but I will only take a few. What gives you more joy, earning money or giving it away?
Well, I'm worth less every year, so I hope I enjoy giving it away. I'm voluntarily giving it away, and I'm having a blast. So I had fun making it too.
When's the last time you used ChatGPT, and what did you type?
I was using the version that comes after that last night, and I was telling it to write things in Hindi. Of course, I had no idea
If it was accurate or not.
what it was writing. But I play around with it. Whenever I have friends over, we're always, joking around.
Which authoritarian regime is a better hub for innovation, Russia or China?
Well, the degree of innovation in China is quite significant. I mean, nothing like US levels. Russia, lower population, very good in mathematics, but beyond that, they never really learned how to scale things up. They completely exited from medical innovation, even though 50 years ago they were very good. So, I feel sorry for the young generation there that should be contributing to health advances and IT advances, and now that's going to be largely blocked from them, or some of them are leaving the country because of that.